Hey guys, Pastor Chris here. Welcome to the Poolside Chat. I had a question. And hey, don't I look clear? I had to get a new phone today. Just coincidentally, Susan and I both got our phones the same day 3 years ago. We were making the last payment this month, and both of them stopped charging. Sounds kind of, I don't know, sketchy, doesn't it? 3 years, both on the same day, both stopped charging. Be that as it may, I hope I look a lot clearer and sound a lot better. Question was asked. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. It says, "So we make it our goal to please him, whether we're at home in the body or away from it." Okay, Christians, followers of Christ, children of God, we please him whether here or there, earth, heaven, alive, dead, this body, heavenly body. The question is, if we make it our goal to please him here or in heaven, why? Because if we're in heaven, haven't we already achieved our goal? Do we still need to try to please him? Won't we automatically be doing that? And it just seemed a little hard to understand. So 2 Corinthians chapters 4 and 5, end of 4, talk about eternality, heaven, our eternal God, our eternal home. It's kind of what 1 Corinthians chapter 15 talks about. And there's some parallels there. But let me read the first couple verses before this. This is starting in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 6. "Therefore, we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home in the body, now, we are away from the Lord." There. "We live by faith, not by sight," of course. "We are confident, I say, and would prefer to be away from the body and home with the Lord. So we make it our goal to please him, whether we are at home in the body or away from it. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive what is due him for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad." So this is where you find the interpretation of this verse. Way more complicated than I had thought, but I'm going to explain it as best I know. So when we look at Paul's writing, when we look at Adam, the first Adam, Christ the second Adam, we look at a lot of this stuff, and it goes into nakedness, even before. Verse 4, it talks about, "For while we are in the tent, we groan, but we groan and are burdened, because we do not wish to be unclothed, but to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Now it is God who has made us for this very purpose and has given us the Spirit as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come." What is the nakedness? There's a lot here. But what this seems to be alluding to is our transition from this earthly body, when we die as a believer in Christ, as a Christian. We are going to be in heaven. We are going to be with God. That's our permanent home. That's what it is. There are some allusions to what this body is, because in Revelation and Thessalonians it talks about having a perfected body, a resurrection body, when the final resurrection will happen. So there was an allusion to a temporary state of being. We will not have our final resurrection body. That happens at the resurrection of the living and the dead. But we will have a conscience, and we will have a temporary dwelling. When Christ comes, when we have our resurrection bodies, there is going to be a judgment for all people, Christians and non-Christians. The judgment for Christians is what is alluded to here. verse 10, for we all must appear before the judgment seat of Christ. Some people call it the Bema seat. You may have heard that term. But this is where we will appear before Christ to give an account for our lives, an account for what he has given us since we accepted Christ, doing the things he has called us to do. Not doing the things, sinning, that we should have done, but we're going to give an account. It is a shameful time. It is a naked time, if you will, because after all he's given us, what have we done with that? And it scares some people because we want to be told we did great. Well done, good and faithful servant. And that goes back to verse 9. So we make it our goal to please him, whether we're at home in the body or away from it. Our goal is to be seen naked, so when our deeds are examined, we will hear that, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And that is what this is an allusion to. This body, as he calls it, this what is it? This earthly tent. When we die, we will have our temporary bodies, whatever they may look like, until the resurrection day, when we receive a resurrection body and have to appear before, as it says, the judgment seat of Christ, which others have referred to as the Bema seat, or the Bema seat of Christ, or the Bema seat of God. But it's a time when God will not examine, but when we will show God everything we've done, good and bad. Because our goal, whether here or there, is the same goal, to please him. So, great question, a lot of research, but I hope this gives you a little insight into this verse and what awaits us when we die, leave this earthly tent, this body. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them, comments, anything about this, about death, temporary body, what happens before resurrection. Not a lot is always said about this, so let's keep this conversation going. Let your friends know. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble at FL Compass Church. I'm getting a lot of questions recently, so we're going to do some questions. Put this study on pause a little bit, but I'm glad you're asking. I'm Pastor Chris. Remember, be back Wednesday. We'll be here, and tomorrow's Sunday. Go to church. We'll see you Wednesday.